Hello and blessings, beautiful souls. Avalon here, Sarava, and I share to you. As it turns out, I have glandular fever at the moment and I'm really low on my energy, so please do excuse the low level of my voice and the croakiness. I've got a little bit of a cough going on as well because my little kids have been running around with snotty noses and little sneezes and coughs and that, and I think that because my just my immunity level has lowered, I'm just catching things right now. So the level of energy in this vlog is going to be very low, but I want to keep it going strong nonetheless, so please do excuse me. Now today I just sat down to create a bit of content for my card slinger tier on Patreon, and I just developed three wonderful 3-card spreads, and I'm calling them the trifecta of 3-card spreads, and that sparked today's topic.
So I often talk about being a freeform reader, and seldom do I speak out about tarot spreads, and that's mostly because I haven't really relied on tarot spreads for a number of years, because I am a freeform reader and I'm very intuitive when I lay out my cards. I just see the patterns. It's something that happens psychically within my head, and I can just throw out as many cards as I like and build an entire story, an entire narrative, and as such a reading just emerges out of that. So I don't feel the need to truly use spreads. But I have a deep respect for spreads because they helped me to build the foundation upon which I am able to stand upon right now and read as a freeform reader. And without my experiences with the various spreads that I have tucked away underneath my belt, I would never have been able to reach this point where I can just lay like all cards out and just make the story come to life in my psyche. And so I have a tremendous respect for spreads, and I think that that is in itself a process that a tarot reader really needs to get familiar with, to get accustomed with. This is not to say that you can't become a freeform reader or an intuitive reader for that matter without the use of spreads, because you absolutely can. But spreads work so beautifully to create a method through which you can understand how important the layout of a tarot reading is, and also it helps you to determine the relationship between cards as they are being laid out. It also influences you as a freeform reader to lay your cards out in a particular manner in keeping with that inner knowledge that you have cultivated from using spreads. And so I don't just haphazardly lay out my cards. I lay my cards out in a particular manner, one next to the other, one above the other, one below the other, and I create this entire experience and this environment that enables me to read the cards in association with the cards that are around that particular card. And so spreads really got me there. It really got me to this place where I feel totally confident and comfortable reading without spreads. But I used to absolutely love spreads, and I cut my teeth on the Celtic Cross. My first Australian tarot deck was the Sacred Circle Tarot, and I'm sure some of you may know the Sacred Circle Tarot. It's an oldie but a goldie. And it has a really thick guidebook, and one of the spreads within that guidebook was the Celtic Cross spread. It had the astrological spread and the Romany spread and a few other spreads if I remember correctly, but the Celtic Cross was the spread. And even at that time, when I owned a few other Rider-Waite-Smith decks, in the guidebooks, in the baby guidebooks, the little white books of those decks, you would see again the Celtic Cross. So as a young tarot reader, in my mind, I'm like, well, the Celtic Cross is where it's at. But I had to battle hard to get to know the Celtic Cross, like really battle hard. It's not the easiest spread to get to know, and it's certainly not the most straightforward. And it has countless variations now in the context of modern tarot. And so for the longest time, I have been a huge advocate for this piece of advice, and the advice that I'm referring to is that beginners really don't need to start with the Celtic Cross. because learning to unpack a Celtic cross is something that is far more suited to an intermediate tarot reader level. There are so many things that one needs to already know in order to be able to really unpack and make good use and get the most out of a Celtic cross. And so with that said, the Celtic cross is still out there as one of the most popular tarot spreads, and you will find them in many companion books to tarot decks, and also tarot spread books and things of that nature. Blog posts will have it, and then there will be people doing types of shares where they assist you to better unpack the Celtic cross spread. However, if you are new to tarot and if you are just wanting to really gain some experience with spreads, or you want something that is versatile, something that is quick and something that is easy, then you cannot go past a simple 3-card spread. There is a stigma that just because you've only got 3 cards laid out in front of you, that you're not going to get a substantial reading from that, and nothing could be further from the truth. 3 cards is all you need to honestly change your life, to change your perspective, to give you some direction, to give meaning to what it is that you're going through, to validate you in your processes. 3 cards is all you need. Now, larger spreads will give you much more to build upon, but 3-card spreads are so overlooked for their wisdom. And it's such a shame, because in our busy lifestyle, 3-card spreads are the lifesaver to many a card reader. You can just bang out a 3-card spread, no worries, get what you need and move on with your day, and still have had a positive and meaningful experience with your cards. And so I wanted to speak on that subject specifically, is don't overlook the 3-card spread. There are many great 3-card spreads, and there are many ways to add your own flavor to 3-card spreads. You can use a pendulum in association with 3-card spreads. You can use an oracle deck in association with a 3-card spread. You can use a 3-card spread full stop without any bells and whistles and still have a really great experience. So I would like to encourage you to go out and find some really good 3-card spreads of all different flavors, so that you can try them out in all different types of situations and see exactly what I mean. That they are full of flavor, they are tasty, they are sensational in what they do. And because they are so accessible, quick and easy, it means that you can learn them and begin to play with the tarot so much quicker without having the cumbersome headache of trying to unpack a Celtic cross. I'm not hating on the Celtic cross, mind you. I'm just saying that the Celtic cross has a place in tarot history, in tarot culture. And for those who know the tarot very well, they will no doubt know the Celtic cross very well, and they will have been able to unpack that Celtic cross, finding all those little pathways underneath it. But it takes time to get there. It's one of the big ones as far as tarot spreads go, and it is a big one for a reason. But it's also a very popular one. So if you have always wanted to learn the Celtic cross, then ease your way into it. Get there slowly. Start to understand the structure of spreads first. 3-card spreads can really help you out. You can move on then to 4 and 5-card spreads. Looking at the relationship between cards, looking at how the cards are laid out on a table in front of you. That's all going to help you as you cultivate the necessary skill to really work with the Celtic cross spread. But for me, 3-card spreads are still a hot favorite, even though I'm a free-form reader. When I need to get the job done, when I'm looking to get the answer that I need, or the experience or the wisdom that I want from the cards quickly, then I'm going to lay out 3 cards. That's all I'm going to do. And sometimes I lay out 1. I just lay out 1 card, knowing of course that that's almost ignorant, because it's really hard to just pull 1 card with the tarot, and pro readers know this. Nevertheless, I like to give myself a little focus, a little flavor. Sometimes I just want to, you know, get a journal prompt for the day or something to that effect. So that's what I do. But I really do encourage you to go out there and look into the wonderful world of 3 card spreads. And a question for you right now, share below please. What is your favorite 3 card spread? If you have one, then share it so we can all learn. And please read the comments, because you might learn something from somebody else's comment as far as a 3 card spread goes. So be detailed in your comments if you can, so that we can all start to tuck some of those tasty spreads away in our tarot journals and learn from each other in that capacity. So there you have it. That was the best that I could do today for you, beautiful souls. Sending you so much love, luck, peace and joy. Please do take care of yourself, and just know that I'm sending you as much love as I possibly can in this moment. But I'm very fragile right now, as I am down with glandular fever. So that is it for today. I hope to have another video for you tomorrow. I'm not sure how that's going to go again. I just want to close my videos for the time being with that. Maybe I won't have a video up tomorrow, because I really don't know how I'm going to be feeling from the day to day. I'm feeling worse today than I did yesterday, so it suggests that I'm going downhill. So I don't want to put any pressure on myself, but I'm going to persevere as much as possible. And I've decided to be super kind on myself, and if I have to, I might share an older card slinger video, something from my Patreon that's been up there for a little while and that's no longer being watched for the moment. So I might share something like that in place of my daily vlog, just so that I can continue to have that daily content up there, because I made a promise and I would really like to honor that promise. With all of that said and done, I'm wishing you so much love, luck, peace and joy. Take care. Bye.